So good morning, Prince Adedapo Araromi, and welcome to day 19 of our Vine Health Live update. Unfortunately, it's not live today, but I think the most important thing is to get the message out. So welcome.
Thank you so much for the invite. I really appreciate you. And on behalf of yourself and all NHSs and all frontliners, I'm doing my clap. So thank you for being on the front line on behalf. Thank you so much.
You're very kind. You're very kind. So I've been chasing you for a couple of days because I think it's important that we talk about finances, particularly during this COVID-19 pandemic. And apart from running Vine Health, I also talk about something called Beyond Wealth, which is about people building their own wealth so that they can impact the lives of others. And this last couple of weeks has revealed some difficulties in some people's lives, and we just want some advice from you and we want some education from you on how we should approach our finances during this period. So please just give us some insight.
Fantastic, thank you. Before going straight to that, I think it'd be nice for me to kind of introduce myself to the audience. My name, as you've rightly said, is Prince Adedapo Araromi. I'm passionate about changing people's lives. I've been in the financial sector now. My strength is insurance. I've been there for the past 5 years. But prior to that, I've always been passionate about changing people's lives. Outside that, I'm a community leader as well. And I've got a community-based charity, which is not for profit. We've been doing a whole lot of things, helping people in different areas of life. And I'm a lifestyle coach as well. So with this, bringing all of these set skills into bear, I think, apart from you guys, like I clapped for you, the NHS staffs and the people on the front line, including the cleaner, funny enough, they're front lines as well. It's very, very important that set skills have come up to bear, particularly in this period of time. The question you did ask was, how can we be financially stable? Me trying to kind of, coin it in my own way. It's very funny. The question that first of all comes to mind is, what categories are you? What category are you in terms of being financially stable? Because this COVID-19 actually affects everyone. That's the funniest thing. I've done a bit of research. I found out that there's never been anything, I think in the past 100, and when I say 100 years, I'm sure there are very few 100 years old people that are alive right now. So that means most of us were not privileged to know the last one that happened, that actually was pandemic, that affected all the continents. So now, if you're sitting down there and you're asking yourself, particularly in UK now, and I'm sure your audience are global, and wherever you are, you're asking yourself, how can I be financially stable? Honestly speaking, I don't want to burst no one's bubble, but the key thing is you need to survive. Because guess what? If you're thinking about that job that you've lost, the company that's employing you has actually lost the contract. So it's a ripple effect. Yeah. Now, what you need to do particularly, so let me speak to our UK audience first of all, because I'm based in the UK. So let's take it from there. We've been privileged to have a very good government that had said, listen, if you fall into different categories of people, we're here to support you. Yeah. And the question I asked earlier, what category do you belong to? So there's self-employed, the people with employment, the people that have got their small businesses, which I happen to be part of them, the people that have, and there are other people. And when I say other people, means that they don't fall into this category at all. So if you fall into the first few categories, you're lucky. You know why? Because the government has actually put things in place for yourself. The thing is, are we actually trying to look for these things? Yeah, that's the question I need to ask you. Are we looking for it? So for instance, if you're self-employed, the government has said, listen, there's universal credit for you. Yeah. Yes. That means that if you go onto their website, it's open, it's a public domain knowledge information. Go on there and check what category that applies to you if you're self-employed. If you're employed, they've told us, listen, even if you lose your job at this period of time, I'll give you 2 examples. So a client of mine, she's a nurse. And she's, of course, I'm not going to mention names if she's watching. I'm sure she can relate to that. She lost she didn't lose a job, but they wanted to make sure that she's okay because she's got existing conditions. So to protect ourselves and our clients, they had to tell her, listen, you need to pause for the moment. So now, of course, there's confusion. It's like she has to pay her mortgage, she has to take care of her children, she has to take care of the family. Now, the question was, okay, so out of the confusion, clear of the confusion, what is your financial stability right now? That's the first thing you need to think about. And all she did was, she went into the government website. She realizes that she's entitled to claim a certain amount to sustain us for this period of time.
Yes.
Because it's affecting everyone, not just a sector, everyone. So she was able to take advantage of that. When she calmed down, she realizes that going onto that website, she can. And she made a claim. Now she's at least
what you said, really, about just calming down, understanding that this is affecting everybody. It's not just you. And just focusing on surviving and then thriving. I think that's really, really useful to think about.
Yes. And another thing is, just like what you've just said, another thing we are not actually doing enough is our mental stability. Is very, very important. And we can say that enough to say, okay, we're all stuck indoors. Funny enough, we're all imprisoned until further notice. Using that word widely, that's the honest truth. Now, survivor, what are you going to do to survive? A lot of experts have told us, wake up in the morning, dress up as if you're going to work, you don't want to go outside, take care of your children if you've got some, your family, pretend as if everything is normal. The things you've never had opportunities to do, start discovering them.
That's amazing. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. Can I take you slightly away from that and ask you a question? I know you've said a lot about what's available in the UK and the categories, and I know that you still have a little bit to say, probably more to say about, and I'll welcome that. But as you're answering that as well, please start to think about, what about investing? Because we know that the financial markets are also crashing. Help us to sort of think about whether this is a time for us to take all our stocks and shares out, or this is a time to buy more. And just that sort of idea would be wonderful, actually.
Okay, good. So I won't be discussing this as a professional, if you don't understand. I'm still in the process of getting all the certification. But with my set skill, honestly speaking, this is not the best time to want to spend or to want to invest. That would be my personal opinion. Yes, you might say the stock is going crashing, so it's the best time to buy. Guess what? Everybody is uncertain. Everybody is unsure. Maybe if it's a bit clearer, it's a bit clearer. So, I mean, like, okay, let me give an example. Somebody, it might be mild, but it's relative. Somebody wanted to book an appointment for something. And he was asking me the question, because I get these calls every now and then. And he was asking me that, can he book the appointment while this is on? And the organization is booking the appointment for their shutdown. And I said, listen, it's so uncertain. The last thing you want to do is to do it now, spend money. You're not sure of the money going nowhere because everything is shut down. When is it becoming a bit clearer? And we would all know when it's becoming a bit clearer. China started in China. They're off it now. Yeah. But prior to them getting off it, there must have been signs that this is going to get better. We would, open borders and all of that. They've not even opened all their borders. They're opening it in trickles. Maybe that time you might want to start thinking, okay, the little £5 I've stocked in there, 5 million pounds I've stocked in there, then I can put it into a stock that has gone down, because it won't start rising at that time. Does that make sense? Exactly.
That's really useful.
I hope I've been able to answer that question. Yeah.
You have definitely answered that question. It's basically do nothing, just wait.
Yes.
Don't buy, don't sell, just wait.
Just wait. Well, no, I didn't say don't sell.
Okay.
I was talking about in terms of buying, but now in terms of selling, really and truly, already it depends on which level you're in. So maybe your stock is even below the amount you bought it already. So even if you're selling at a loss. If it's a long-term investment, leave it there. There's no rush in selling it. If it's a short-term investment, you look at what is applicable to yourself. So if you bought it for £5 and it's come down to maybe £6 and you think that you want to cash out, please, by all means, do that. But if you've bought it for £5 and it's gone below £5, do you want to sell at a loss. No, this
No.
too shall pass. So
Right.
leave it from short term and convert it to long term if you don't need the money immediately.
That's really, really good. I mean, is there anything else you want to share with us in terms of finances before we wrap up today?
Okay, so in terms of finances, so we're being proactive. So we're saying, okay, we're doing all the investment, doing all of that. And this is a passionate place for me. And in the past 2 weeks, I've actually lost about 4 clients to this COVID-19. So it's personal, and that's the honest truth. Finances, we talk about investment, we talk about, we talk about the properties and all of that. But the last bit that we don't think about is the unexpected. In case the unexpected happens, have we got enough investment to take care of ourselves? One, we being the driver of our future, of ourselves and our family. 2, are we taking care of if anything was to go pear-shaped or gone south, which is an investment, particularly with our ethnic minorities that we don't talk about. So that is the area we want to actually focus on at this point in time, and that's the honest truth. Insurance is just too important. In fact, the amount of course I get these days to say, listen, what do I need to do? I've got this thing in place. How can I review it so that realistically, if anything wants to go wrong? In fact, early this morning, I just got a call from a client in Scotland who was asking, oh, so does this COVID, if one dies of this COVID, would it cover it as a life cover? And I said, yes, it does. So there's a lot of questions around that area in terms of finance. So it's not enough. So while we're putting a stop to those stocks, putting a stop to those investments, this is where we need to put a start to the finances in our own personal lives.
Yes.
This is the time we need to bring out those documents of those things we do have and check it. And speak to an advisor. You don't have to speak to me. There are lots of advisors. But I'm privileged to be on this program, but speak to someone. Get a clear picture of what you do have in place. So that if everything was to go pear-shaped, God forbid, at least you know that, guess what? Thank God I've been able to protect myself in investment financially and my family. Another thing I failed to mention is people globally. So I've talked about the ones in the UK taking care of the government. I'm sure the ones in Nigeria too, they're doing some kind of welfare package for their citizenry. So if you're Nigerian, you're watching me, just go do the search. Listen to professionals and they'll tell you there's a way you can get about it. People in the States, in America, I am sure that the government is taking care of them as well. Now, the area that have not actually answered is the ones that don't have the privilege to take advantage of the government funds. It's the ones that don't have the privilege to take advantage of how they're going to go. For instance, maybe legally they are not allowed to. Let's just use that word. And they're living in, for instance, in UK. So there are opportunities as well. It's so funny. Yes, there are opportunities for you guys. So I have done a bit of research and I found out that if you go to UK government websites, just let me just confirm that because I want to be sure what I'm saying. It's what is called emergency funding. So if you Google emergency funding on the UK government website, there are different categories of, you would definitely get your own category there. And guess what? There are very loving people, charities that are taking the risk to come out to give you food. I was privileged to
let me interrupt you there to say that I want to talk about your charity, but I also want to say, if people want to reach out to you, because you've touched on a really, really important point about planning for the future, planning for when we're no longer here so that we don't leave problems with our families. So if people want to reach out to you to ask for advice, I know you're not the only one, but you are here. So where can they reach you?
Okay, fantastic. So the best way they can reach me is on my mobile number, which is 079 856 28339. I know you'll pin that maybe at the end of the program.
Yes.
I'll repeat it, 079 856 28339. And I've got a WhatsApp number as well. It's 074 046 73541. I'll repeat that again. My WhatsApp number is 074 045 73541. Obviously, I'll send it all to you so you can put
Yes,
it on wall.
please.
So that's the best way to reach me. And if you can't get to speak to me, want to reach out, just drop me a message. I'll call you back, because it honestly speaking, particularly within our ethnic minority, we're beginning to realize that, hold on, this is reality. And if anything was to go pear-shaped or subside, what's going to happen to my family, like you said? And it's now people are thinking, let me speak to an advisor. And most of my clients are coming back to say, okay, Prince, what do I really have? Is this sufficient enough, particularly for the pandemic period? What do I need to add more so that at least this too, one is passing? If anything was to go wrong, at least I know I am safe. Or if I am not, my family is safe.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And lastly, when you mentioned about, people who are undocumented, who don't have money, who cannot eat, and I know you mentioned that you do, in conjunction with someone else, you feed people who need it. Can you just tell us a bit about this work, this charity, to finish off today?
Thank you so much. So I am based in Southeast. My charity is called Just a Little Help, and I'm sure quite a few people know about us. We do a lot of things. We do a lot of things. In fact, we're just a helping hand in our community. That's our motto. Our name is Just a Little Help, JLH, but we're helping out in our community. Wherever we feel that we can step in, we'll step in without hesitating. Now, focusing on this particular one, because if I will have to say we've done and all that, it will take a lot of the time. But focusing on this particular one, so there's a charity called Death Not Dump. Mm-hmm. They're based in Southeast. So they've taken it upon themselves, and we have collaborated with them. Just to let help to say, listen, these people that they don't have anywhere to go to, they don't have a roof over their head, they don't have food to eat in this pandemic period. What can we do? So we came together. We started last week Sunday, and we assembled in Woolwich on a Sunday where everybody's relaxed, between 4 and 6. And we try to reach out to at least between 40 to 50 families or individuals. Mm-hmm. And it's just raw food, self-sponsored. We assembled there. We try to make sure we're safe, because a lot of people last week when we did the live feed video, they were concerned for us. And I do appreciate that, and I do understand, but I love myself first. I need to love myself. Yeah, I've got children, I've got family, so I don't want any of these things to happen. But however, we all can't just sit down. We need to take action. So as much as we're being safe, we need to take care of those people. And it's very funny that when we started it last week, we said 2 hours. All our food were gone under 1 hour.
Wow.
Under 1 hour. So it goes to show you that the people really suffering. So yes. What we've decided to do is we're doing it continuously for as long as we can get help, so that we can reach out to more people. So we're going back there on this Sunday. So if you live around the borough of Greenwich and you can come out, meet us in Woolwich around the big screen there, just opposite Tesco's. Mm-hmm. You see us there, it's conspicuous. We're there, we're going to be conspicuous, we're going to wear a t-shirt, and we're giving out food without asking for anything. Just come there, keep your 1 meter distance, we're all kitted, we'll give out the food without asking anything. You can go sustain yourself for the next week. We're hoping to reach out to more organizations and individuals that are willing to help, so that we can reach out to more people. Now, you might ask, some people can't come out for whatever reason it is. We are taking it upon ourselves again, because I registered to be a volunteer with Greenwich Council at this period, so that we can reach out. I drive. I can deliver the food personally on behalf of the charity. So if you can't come out, that's fine. We will be able to deliver to you. Just reach out to us, and we'll keep your own food apart, so that at least you can sustain yourself for the next week while all of these things is going on.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. That's like what we call living beyond wealth, because one of what I do is about people living beyond wealth. So you have your own, but then you share and you impact the lives of others. I've really appreciated everything you've said this morning about our finances, which is, know where you are, know your category, seek help, get the information. If you're in the UK Gov website is there, caters for everyone. If you're not able to get any help, we have charities that are supporting. Think about insurance as well. Lots and lots of tips there. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hopefully this will reach out to other people and help them as well. So really, really thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate for coming onto this platform. I thank you, and I hope this helps someone out there, if it's just one person.